Hi, Mr. Bennett here. From the request of Coleman and Keeley, I'm doing this video just on interest rates, and we're going to do an example of a simple interest and a compound interest thing for your test. So the key formula that we've got over here, and I'll draw in red if that's all right. So if I come into looking at here, our interest is equal to the principal times by the rate times by the time. So coming over to our triangle over here, I is equal to P, our rate, and our T over here, time. Now the next thing over here, we're going to have to do three examples of a interest rate in terms of using the formula. Let's say I had a principal of $2,000, and let's say my rate's equal to 9.3%, and let's say we did that for 2 years. How much interest would you accrue or need to pay? So 2,000, the rate we need to convert to a decimal place, 0.093. So what we're doing there is dividing that by 100, and then we're going to times that by 2. So if we go to our calculator, we do that. So go to our calculator, so 2,000 times that by 0.093 and times that by 2, and that will give us our answer, $372 worth of interest for that. So that's equal to $372 worth of interest for that example. So you definitely need to know how to do calculations using the PRT to work out your interest available. Now, when we're looking at our principal, if we're rearranging our formula, imagine sort of hiding the principal over there. Then we would be able to get a formula which is P is equal to I over RT. Okay, so that's what it works out to be. So in this example C here, assuming we're rearranging the formula, calculate the money required to earn $6,014.40 at a rate of 8.95% in 6 years. So you could list all these things over here. I is equal to 6014.40. Rate's equal to 8.95, and then T is equal to 6. Now you don't have to do that, but we know we're looking for P. All right, so P is equal to, we've got our formula above, so I'm going to put the things into the formula, 6014.40. That's all over. Now on the bottom line we're going to have 0.0895, because that's what 8.95% is in terms of a decimal, and then we have to times that by 6. Alright, so if I do that, we work that out. So go to the calculator again. So 6014.4, divide that by, now I have to use brackets, 0.0895 times that by 6, and that will give us $11,200. So $11,200. Okay, so if we go back to our sheet over here, that's telling us for us to get that amount of interest over a 6-year period, we'd need to have $11,200 in our bank account invested. All right. The next one, obviously, to work out T. Okay, T is equal to simply our interest over PR. Right, I could do the same thing again, identify the key things. So we're looking at over here, read the question, calculate how long it would take for $7,000 to earn. So this here is my interest. That figure there is my principal, and that's my rate. So obviously T is equal to 2380 all over the P, which is 7,000, We're timesing by that rate, which is 0.085. So again, a calculator, coming back to that, so was it 2,380, divide that by bracket 7,000, and then times that by 0.085. And that would work out to be 4 years. Okay, so that's equal to 4 years is how long it's going to take for that to work through. And then we do the same thing for rate. Rate's equal to I over PT. Right, so again, if we're looking at that, so read the question carefully, try and work out which parts are which. So calculate the interest rate required for 5,000 to earn that much interest. So that's my principal, that there is my interest, and that there is the time. So rate is equal to my interest, which is 1,350, all over my principal, which is 5,000, and we're timesing that by 3. So calculator time, here we go. So 1,350, divide that by bracket 5,000, and times that by 3. So that's 0.09. So equals 0.09, which we could write as 9%. So that's the interest rate you'd need to get in order to do that. Now we're going to come down to the next bit, which is compound interest. Right, so question 20, when we're looking at that one, so what we've got here is 14,200 at a rate of 9% for 7 years. So how much interest does this account earn? So what you have to do is go I is equal to PRT, 14,000.09 times by 7, and that will be your figure you get. So that's how much interest you earn. So what is the total amount repayable? Well, if you had to pay this back, you would need to be equal to 14,200 plus the 8,946. So if you add those two figures together, you'll come up with right, and that will tell you it's 23,146. But you could have done it in your head as well, couldn't you? So it's 23,146 is what you've got to pay back. So what's the amount of interest on the same loan if the loan compounds? Okay, so what we're looking for is if we did the same loan but we compounded it. So what we're saying here is the future value is equal to our principal, which is 14,200, and that's 1 plus the rate, our rate which is equal to 0.09, and then 7. Right, so that's what we've got to do in our calculator here. Right, so come into that, so we've got 14,200 bracket 1 plus our rate, which is 0.09, and then to the power of 7. Enter. So that tells us our account's worth 23,958 and 16 cents. So let's do that. So that's equal to 25,000. I can't remember what I just had my calculator. 25,958. So 25,958 and 16 cents is what our account's worth. So how much of this is actually interest? Well, if we take away our original amount, so if we do 25,958, take away the 14,200, then that's going to tell us our figure, isn't it? So that's going to mean that we've got about $11,758 is in fact interest on our two accounts. So if I was investing that money and trying to get the biggest amount, which one would I want to use? Well, simple interest I get $8,000 or nearly $9,000, and with compound interest I nearly get $11,000 worth of interest. Okay, is what I'm actually doing there. Alright, so remembering the compound interest formula is this one here, future value, which is equal to amount in some other formulas, is equal to the principal, 1 plus the rate to the power of t. So if I did this example here and did the compound interest rate for that, how much would that grow to? That'd be 32,800 is my principal. My rate is 1 plus 0.06, and then it's for 3 years. So again, I'll do that calculation for you. 32,800. So again, in your calculator, 32,800, and then your bracket, you're timesing 1 plus 0.06, and you're doing that to the power of 3. And that works out to be $39,065.32. So it's equal to $39,065.32. So remembering, everything over the 32,800 is actually equal to interest. So if I want to work out what my interest is, then I simply take away from that answer 32,800, and that will tell me that I've got $6,265.32. So my interest is $6,265.32 worth of interest. Alright, so the compound interest formula is quite simple to use, and that's all we're expecting you to do there.